Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room podcast. We're coming to you guys right after the Denver Nuggets just stunned the OKC Thunder. Aaron Gordon hit a game-winning three in transition to beat the Thunder in game one. The Thunder controlled this game throughout. Down the stretch of the game, the Denver Nuggets went on, I believe, a 19-6 run, including the game-winning shot from Aaron Gordon to take game one and steal home court advantage from the Thunder. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like the video, share the video, follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. And we're going to get right into it because it is pretty late out here. So, Aaron Gordon hits a game winner to beat the Thunder Nuggets. I meant the Thunder to beat the Thunder in game one. Max, how are you feeling after this game? How do you feel about the series? Why did you guys crumble down the stretch of the game? What did you see?
I mean, at the end of the day, again, I'm not mad with much. That's what deserved to happen after the mismanagement of the game at the end. I'm trying to figure out why we fouled so quick. That made zero sense to me. On two different possessions, the second of which Jokic was out of the game. Again, I'm up 3. I'm fine to have Jokic out of the game, and we force guys who have not been hot all game to take a 3. I'm fine to push them into their best offensive possession without their best creator and playmaker. So I have no idea why we just kept fouling literally in 0.5 seconds. We're talking milliseconds. That made zero sense to me, and I don't know why Mark continued to do that. It put our team, it put the Thunder in a bigger pressure moment of hitting free throws, and Chet missed both. And again, even if he missed one, it wouldn't even matter to hit a 3 in transition. So, yeah, I think that was, again, I think the entire game, Jokic obviously played his ass off. Jokic was insane from the get-go. His little shimmy threes he was hitting, his little size-ups, working in the paint, rebounding the basketball. He was doing everything. But at the same time, OKC was getting stops, was getting turnovers on him, active hands. I feel like that was my takeaway from the game for the Thunder on defense. Steals, blocks, tips, whatever it was, their defense was in passing lanes, was in the offense's pocket the whole game. Again, we were able to get tons of turnovers throughout the game. We started the game off shooting very, very poorly, and it got better as the game went on. J-Dub didn't play that well. Chet didn't play that well. I know you're going to come on the Shea narrative. I don't think Shea played that bad. Shea obviously had a big clutch down transition, big shots down in transition. Caruso was the star of the night for the Thunder for sure. Ihart had some good possessions for sure. But Caruso's three-point shooting was insane today. His defense was insane today. This is a game that definitely you want. I think it's obviously at home, but this is a game you kind of got to win. Jokic puts up 40 and 20, and your stars don't play like your stars, and you were in a chance to win that one. You were winning the entire game, dominating the entire game. So that's a pretty inexcusable one at the end of the day. But I can't lie, with how the end kind of unfolded, I think they kind of deserved that loss. That was made zero sense to me. So I'm still confused, and I feel like on Mark's part, I feel like he just gave the game away. I don't understand that.
I really feel like right now that game showed OKC's inexperience. I feel like down the stretch of that game.
Wait, stop. I thought inexperience doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Okay, thank you.
It does not matter in the grand scheme of things. You're going to win it if you're a better team. Which is why they're going to win this series. I haven't moved from that. Anyways, back to my point. That is the one time this postseason where I felt like OKC's inexperience with moments like this really showed. And it was really Coach Daigneault. I don't know why they fouled so quickly. When Shea got that dunk, they didn't need to foul after that. Jokic was off the court. You let them play a possession with Jokic off the court. It would have went terribly for them. Instead, they were so locked in on playing cautious. They were playing to not lose the game, not to win it. You had one of the most historic defenses in NBA history. You were giving the Nuggets trouble all night outside of Jokic. He's not on the floor. You do not need to foul. Your defense is all-time great. It can hold up in that moment. It was just a coaching blunder from Mark Daigneault. Obviously, Chet missed some free throws. Jada was terrible for the whole game. And Shea played below his standards in this game, no question. Am I confident that the Thunder are going to win the series? Yes, but this is not a good start to the series at all. Um, Denver was coming off a grueling game, 7-game series against the Clippers, and then you let them come in your house and take one. It was a very, very winnable game. The Thunder controlled the game. They looked like the much better team throughout the whole entire game. They didn't win this game. I don't think they won this game because Jokic is the best player in the world. That's why they won this game. Yes, Jokic had he was I think it was shaky from a lot of this game, and then down the stretch of the fourth quarter, he played really well. But they lost this game because their execution down the stretch was just awful, pretty much. And it was some questionable calls. Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein got in foul trouble. I think Jokic should have fouled out.
I agree. I think that was very, very much superstar. And again,
they didn't let them challenge the call. So
it's not just Jokic. It's not just Jokic. And again, that's where it's like I can't get that max. It's not just Jokic. Again, same thing would happen to Shea. Same thing would happen to whatever star it is. But there were definitely some times, a couple of the iHeart little draw fouls, a couple of things as a whole. There was definitely some chances or some times where you could have thrown a challenge flag if they still had it. But at the same time, you can't challenge for a foul like that. So.
Yeah, they would have won this game if they just made better decisions down the stretch, man. It wasn't even decisions. Mark, just don't foul right there. Just don't foul, bro.
I fully believe you win the game if you don't foul right there. Because even if they go down, let's say they hit a three. You go into overtime. Again, your two bigs have 5 fouls, but Jokic also has 5 fouls. And again, you keep attacking. He's got to be aggressive. I understand. But you give yourself a whole 5 minutes to go figure that shit out again.
When you foul that early, you leave so much time on the clock for some bullshit to happen, and that's exactly what happened. I'm cool with fouling up 3 because it's strategically it's the right decision, but you have to do it with some sense. And you're the best. You're one of the best defenses in NBA history. You don't need to do that, bro. So that was just very disappointing. I was disappointed with Shea's play as well. The Nuggets are tilting the floor when he has the ball. They're sending 2 at him. They're sending late help when he goes up for shots, and that's why he got blocked so many times. They're playing some very, very aggressive defensive coverages on him, and so J-Dub needs to step up. Chet needs to play better. Obviously, I mean Jokic had a great game in totality because of how he finished the game, but they forced him into a lot of turnovers. They forced the Nuggets into a lot of turnovers. Nuggets didn't even shoot well from 3. I still feel confident because I think they can replicate a lot of this stuff, creating turnovers. I think they can replicate that, making Jamal Murray struggle like he did tonight. They can replicate that. Aaron Gordon had a great game. MPJ was 1 for 8 from 3, but I mean Russ Westbrook had a great game. Yeah. I think the Thunder are clearly the better team. They just need to execute. They have to execute. J-Dub has to show up. Chet has to show up. Dort was really great tonight. Caruso was the best player for OKC tonight, probably. So I still feel confident, but this going down 1-0, it's like because
you said it before. It makes this a must win, and that's a lot more pressure on a young team for sure.
It makes game 2 a must win for the Thunder because going into Denver and trying to win 2 in a row is insane. Like at the worst, you need to come. At worst, you need to come out of Denver 2-2. That's what it has to be.
Yeah.
At the worst. I think the Thunder I think they're a better team. They look like the better team. They play like the better team today. It was just down the stretch of the game. They made costly mistakes. So I'm still confident and they're going to win the series. But man, this game leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like that's not even.
I'm just saying, I think that's one where it's like this kind of game sets off a bad string of events. Like that kind of game is just not. I don't know.
I don't know. Hopefully they learn from this.
We just go to the next one. Again, I don't think there's much to be said. I need to hear the Mark Daigneault press conference. That's it.
I mean, the Cavs lost game 1. The Celtics lost game 1. The Thunder lost game 1.
I know all no ball. I know zero ball.
All 360 win teams lost game 1. Those teams also were They ended their series pretty quickly, so they got the most rest, all that type of stuff. So I want to see how that affects things going forward. Like but all three of those teams faced little adversity in the first round. So it was like it was their time to see adversity, and now that they have seen some adversity, I want to see how they respond. Um, I'm interested to see what they change like schematically, but it feels like um, the Thunder had the right
game plan.
game
Yeah.
plan. 11 seconds into the game, you up 3 and you lose. Like, come on, y'all. Chet's clutch free throw shooting is actually an issue. This is not the first time this has happened. This is not the first time this has happened.
I don't understand. What you go? Sorry. My thing is like I don't think in a perfect world you inbound the ball to Shea all the time, but defenses are not going to let you inbound the ball to Shea every time. So you're like again, you're not guaranteed that. So Mark's got to go down his bench of who else is on the court that I'm confident shooting free throws. And again, you got to hope it's everybody, but like I don't know, you're just giving him basically 2 free points or free shot at points every time. Like I don't know why we didn't have him just shoot a forced shot or whatever. It made no sense.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Very, 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 very bad loss. Very bad loss. I do think it's again experience is not going to win them the series. That's not what they win. That's not why they win. That's not really why they even. That's part of the reason why they won tonight because I think Mark Daigneault kind of made a rookie mistake as far as him being a coach. I don't think Chet missed free throws because he's a young player. I mean, he's missed free throws. I think the big part of the reason why they lost was Shea played below his level. Jalen Williams played. He shot 5 for 20 from the field, bro. He played terrible. Chet didn't play well offensively either. So it was a lot more than experience was the reason why they lost this game, which is why I don't. When people try to use experience so much as a point of a series,
but you're pointing out 2 of the youngest players though as well. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, the Rockets took the Warriors 7. Do you think they lost because of experience?
No.
But
I don't think it's always experience. I don't think that's where you're like thinking it's black and white. I don't think it's always experience, but I think experience can have a factor to play into a series. They won't
lose. They won't lose a series because of experience. They'll lose this series because J-Dub doesn't step up, or Chet has a bad series, or Shea struggle, or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Part of it has to play where Chet has literally been healthy for 2 years now and has only been in one playoffs, like that kind of stuff where it's like these guys are still very young players and not been playoff atmospheres before. Where every player, every coach, every whatever will talk that it's a different atmosphere, it's a different style of play. So I do think that where it's like, yes, I understand you're attributing it to bad play versus inexperience. Like I think that inexperience can partially cause some of the bad play. That's all.
Oh man, a lot of props to David Arterman, man. This team looks like a much different team defensively than they did when Mike Malone was coaching it. I don't know what he's gotten these guys to do. But Nikola Jokic, he wasn't great defensively tonight, but he was good in that game 7. They're sending early help, late help. They're mixing up coverages on Shea. They're sending doubles, and they're inviting him to make easy reads, which he's been able to do. But it gets him out of rhythm. They're not giving him anything easy. Shea's not getting to any of his looks comfortably. Like he is struggling to get clean mid-range looks. After the first quarter, he was struggling to get to the rim cleanly. So they've employed a very good defensive coverage so far. I don't know if they're going to have the energy to keep that up over the course of a 7-game series. That's my real doubt because they just came out of a 7-game series having to do that. But the Thunder made them pay for that, especially they were creating so many good looks. Shea is a better playmaker than Kawhi Leonard, so he's going to be able to pass the ball to open guys. He had 9 assists tonight. So they were capitalizing off of his gravity. It just came down to the end of the game, down the stretch. I think it was like a 19-6 run or something like that, and they gave it away
or something.
Yeah, they just gave it away. Very, 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 very disappointing. Very disappointing. I'm disgusted. I need a resounding win in game 2. I have money on the line in this series. This cannot happen. So y'all need to pick it up immediately.
I forgot to bet on this. Don't say y'all. You've been trying to claim my team.
I didn't bet on this series specifically. I bet it was a season-long bet. But the Thunder, yes, pick it up, bro.
You've been
Yeah,
trying to claim my team all year, so don't say y'all because you're trying to put yourself as part of it, bro.
bro, I've been on the Thunder for a very long time since Shea got on the team and Chet was drafted. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying, but you're saying y'all as in like me because it's my team. But I was like, you're just trying to get mad at me, like I just said, you're trying to
I'm not
claim
getting
my
mad at
team.
you. I don't know what you got. I don't know why
That's what I'm
you said I
saying.
was getting mad at
You're,
you.
you're trying to like claim the
Frustrated
team.
because
And you're saying y'all.
I'm frustrated because they just blew that game.
Yeah, they did.
That frustrated.
This is why like you no one believed me when I say my teams just don't ever come through the
Max,
clutch.
I'm not trying to hear
That's
that superficial shit, bro. I'm not trying to
huh?
hear that. Don't start with that, okay? Don't
I'm
start with
just
that.
saying this is
Start
what
with that.
happens.
This is. I'm about to get mad. Anyways, let's move on before I get mad, bro. Because I
Not
can't
even there's not even anything to get mad about. You show me my teams, bro. They love
I can't
choking.
I can't even believe this shit. Honestly. Like,
That's right.
anyways, um, the Knicks also came back from down 20 to beat the Celtics OT. So again, Celtics lost, Thunder lost, and Cavs lost. All of the historically great teams this year, 61 teams, lost in game one. This game was super weird. In the beginning, and to start this game, neither team could really hit from three. The Celtics were missing from three a lot, but they were getting to the paint.
45 misses from three.
They were getting to the paint at will. They were living in the paint in the first half, and then in the second half, they just decided to hoist up three out of three out of three out of three, no matter if it was going in, and it wasn't going in. Jason Tatum had a really bad game. He's he he started the game like 5 for 6 or something like that. I think he started the game for like he started
He
the game.
scored 13. He had 13 points in the first
He had
quarter.
13 points in the first quarter, and then in the second half, he had like eight
6.
points,
He had
eight
what? He
points.
had 19 or 20 or something. Okay.
No, I think he had 21. Let me look.
This was the most impressive win of the playoffs for me.
23.
This was the most impressive win I've seen in the playoffs, in my
I'm not
opinion.
impressed.
Huh?
I'm not that impressed.
And again, Boston couldn't hit threes. Jalen Brunson, again, in back-to-back games now. I get he missed the game-winning layup at the end. His 2 threes in those back-to-back possessions were some of the most clutch buckets I've seen in the playoffs and in recent memory in the playoffs. Brunson, I've definitely been one to kind of underrate him for sure. Obviously, I still have him up towards the top of the NBA, but I've not. I put him over. I've not put him in conversations with guys that he probably should be in conversations with. Jalen Brunson has definitely elevated his play this this playoff run. He's been a elite playoff performer this year, and I was very impressed with how this Knicks team fought back, especially during foul trouble. You had Cat out of the game for a decent majority with 4 fouls and 5 fouls. So you had to kind of play through everyone else. OG had clutch shots. Mikhail had clutch shots in the strip at the end. Um, Again, Jason Tatum, we're this is year 2 now, like just nowhere to be seen on some of these plays. Again, he misses 2 in a row in the clutch. They go back to him and they go back to him at the garbage time, like the couple seconds. Like can't really get much of a shot up there. But I mean, I don't know if Joe Mazzulla is just like even if he's cold, he's the best player on the team. But like I just, I mean, he wasn't hitting. Like I get it, it's Jason Tatum, but like he was cold, and that might be an understatement. He was freezing. He could not hit a shot at all in that second half. Again, I think he had sub 10 points. So to keep going to him in the clutch moments of the game, when you have other great scorers like a Jalen Brown, good shooters like a Derek White, like whoever you want to bring in, Drew Holiday, Peyton Pritchard, like Al Horford could stripe a three, but like I think you have other guys who put the ball in their hands. So I was very confused, but again, Jason Tatum, I think that's one where he's got to be better for sure.
The Celtics are obviously probably one of the best 3-point shooting teams in NBA history over the last 2 seasons, as far as volume and efficiency goes. But they just get into these slumps where they live by the three and they just die by the three, no matter where it's going in or not. Um, Jason Tatum, Jason Tatum specifically, he just forgets that he's 6'10". He can get to the rim whenever he wants to. It was plays in this game where he had Cat guarding him, Brunson guarding him. He refused. He refused to get to the paint. I think the Celtics, in totality, had like 7 attempts in the restricted area in the second half. 7 attempts. Let me make sure I'm not tripping. Let me go to half 2.
Hmm.
See. How many shots? Um, they had 7 shots in the restricted area in the second half. They just completely gave up shooting 2-point shots. And Joe Mazzulla has impaired Joe Mazzulla has empowered them to take those 3-point looks because analytically it makes sense. But if that shit is not working, bro, get to the paint. Get to the paint. They lost this game. They were up 20. Credit to OG Anunoby, who really brought the Knicks back in this game. He played wonderful to bring them back in the game. Then Brunson got it going down the stretch of the game. He hit big shots. He didn't start this game off really well at all, but down the stretch, he made big plays. Jason Tatum and the Celtics continue to force threes down the stretch. Despite Cat being in foul trouble and other players being in foul trouble, they just decided to continue to shoot threes. I think the Celtics are going to handily win the series still. I think they probably win it in 5 or 6 still, regardless of the outcome. I think they're a much better team than the Knicks. But maybe their margin for error is definitely not as big as last year. It's just definitely not. Drew Holiday isn't as good as he was last year. Porzingis has been dealing with injuries, and he's just not as good of a rim protector as he was last year. Haven't been able to score as efficiently as he was in last year playoffs when he was on the floor. The team isn't as good as they were last year. Jaylen Brown is not as good as he was last year. So their margin for error is smaller, but I'm still confident that they're going to win the series for sure. Just two terrible losses from the two best teams in the
Two games that should have been put away a long time ago.
I don't really care about the Celtics series.
I'm just saying it's the playoffs. You can't let teams sit around, especially a team like Denver who has Jokic on their team. You can't let them sit around and just keep fighting because eventually they'll get there. So yeah, it was bad. 2 bad games, unless you're the underdogs. But
yeah, I want to see how both of these teams bounce back going forward. Celtics were mismatch hunting a lot as they do always, but weren't taking advantage of them. Like every time the Knicks didn't help on their drive,
they just look the size up and then just step back for a three. Like I get what you were saying with he forgets that he's so tall. Like I don't know, attack, especially with no rim protection.
No, that's that part of his game as a scorer is always been a flaw. Like he's too trigger happy, and he got like Paul George syndrome where he like over dribbles instead of just like being decisive and going to the paint. But yeah, Derek White was really good tonight. So shout out to him. He's been consistent throughout this playoff series. Jalen Brunson got a really good look there to end that game. He missed it, but he made up for it in overtime. I never thought that the series would like be uncompetitive in some games. I do think the Knicks can make it competitive in some games, but the Knicks got to feel good about this. Like they have to feel good because they stole home court advantage. They got a win, but I'm not gonna lie. If I'm a Celtics fans, I'm still feeling very, very, very optimistic. It took overtime to beat the Celtics when they shot 15 of 60 from three. They can have games where they are off from three, but that was anomaly bad. They missed the most threes in playoff history. Whenever they want to get to the paint against a team, they can be very successful. It took Jaylen Brown having an awful game. It took Jason Tatum having a terrible game for the Knicks to win this series. Well, it took that bad of a performance for the Knicks to win one game in a series in overtime when the Celtics dominated this matchup in a regular season. Like this series, I still don't think it's going to be that close as far as the end result. Maybe a few games or some like a half or so where it gets super competitive, but I'm still very confident in the Celtics winning this series. And game one doesn't change that that much to me. So, I mean, yeah, that's really all I got to say about those two games. We can talk about the Cavs and Pacers if you want, but it's like,
I mean, that's fine. There's not a whole lot to say. Like, I just thought the Pacers looked like the number 1 seed in that matchup. Like, again, I was completely wrong on that. Like,
Garland,
for sure. Again, Indiana just looked like they wanted it. Like, I'm sorry, you can shit on my team all you want. Your team just did not look ready to play game one. Donovan Mitchell was the one guy who wanted to play game one. That was it. Effort wise, defense wise, shooting wise,
Evan Mobley was great in that game.
Yes, I said Donovan Mitchell was like the one guy who was playing well.
Evan Mobley, he had 20 and 10 on 70 true shooting, bro.
I'm just like,
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just like, as a whole, like I'm just.
Our defense wasn't great. Our defense wasn't great.
Am I casual? What does Evan Mobley shoot from three this year?
It's pretty good for his standards and big man standards. So yes, it's pretty good.
Because there was just times in transition where he's just pulling up. He pulls up from the wing, and it's just like the shot appetite again. I feel like I watch an okay amount of Evan Mobley, but I don't watch the 3-point shooting at all.
Man, listen, they were creating some quality looks on offense. Our defense could have been better, but they shot a unsustainable level from the field and from three.
Agreed.
Like Andrew Nembhard pulling up from Andrew Nembhard out of nowhere became a 40%
from like 35. Yeah,
last year. I don't know where that came from. Like he's pulling up from 5 steps behind the 3-point line, knocking down threes. They were hitting some really tough shots. And do I expect them to hit some shots like that in other games? Yes, but not as consistently. And we couldn't hit anything from three. So I think it'll balance itself out. If somehow the Celtics, Cavs, and Thunder lose in this round, that would be insane for the regular season because those are the 3 best teams in the regular season. So they need to get it together.
One will. I think my prediction, my hot take now is one will lose. I don't know who it is, but someone's going down.
It's probably going to be the Cavs. Evan Mobley's injured, and so is DeAndre Hunter, and so is Derrick
Rose. Or it could be another team.
I don't care. It's better not be the Thunder. That's all I care about. Because I have money on them, so I need them to pull through. I'm gonna go watch some film when it's available to see what they've been doing against Shea, and I'll probably make some post about it tomorrow because he's looking super uncomfortable as of late. But that's gonna do it for our small recap of these 2 games. We'll come back with a larger episode after the game 2s of the series. So if you watched this far, thanks for watching, and we are out.